昨天找到那个 bug 的解决办法，蛮智障的。我这样要从哪边开始？存档，好像在门口。哦，读这个好了。上楼之后嘛，看一下那个位置。可是我那个位置好像在这里吧？可是我人是在这里是怎么回事啊？不过后来是不是应该是这一层是不是啊？地图是烂的，我连我现在在哪都不知道。在这里啊。
Troops, Stellar Base counting on us.
这游戏问题怎么那么多啊？哎，中间这一根看起来我应该在这里，我要走到这里来，才不会出它 bug。绕过去吧。懒，我知道昨天早点收哦，这样会碰到 bug。对啊，应该等下就结束了吧？是这边我要怎么过去啊？看我是要搭另外一面的电梯是不是？啊，电梯不能往上了啊？怎么过去啦？喂，是要爬山是不是？总会有方法可以过去的、哦。有没有？哎，我来了。这破栏杆想阻我，也想挡住我。哦，这里嘛，那挡。后面这里。哦，就是这里啊、哦。终于触发了。
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting after all.
These days,
他居然认识这个医生。
Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in him.
子弹前人人平等啊。
Try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
通知。
My word!
哇！
You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony.
嘴屁。
Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se.
哦，要被掰弯了。
But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
At least that means someone's recognizing our work.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way. If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would. I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause.
因为你在啊，搞屁啊！
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were,
怎么这样
and
就
make
好
it
了
out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
可不干！看来一点用都没有。在这别动，等我命令。
I've got work to do.
等一下，那我再读取一下这个吧。要是我选那个欺骗会怎样了？欺骗会不会他会不会比较乖啊？哎，不是吧？跑太快了。
Well, haven't you heard?
哎，子弹不要打进来啊！变，
You have?
真的吗？
Is that what you were doing at the ministry?
真的，都是真的。
I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already.
最好是啊，都一样哎，免费啊。他应该是在楼上吧？哎，不是吗？这点是怎样？我开啦，搞什么？干，董事长居然开干了，不能捅他啊！这边很麻烦哎。
Oh, look.
好。啊。有没有这么难找啊？感觉我现在一靠近门就会宕机，跑过去啊！ 诶，人死了、啊，不用我自己出手啊，直接跳过去好了。这栏杆也太智障了吧！我们这边就没有空气墙了。哎、
Our trigger fingers are getting a mite antsy.
Ready to kick some ass?
应该是个反抗军的吧？不是那个什么？对，就是叛乱叛变了。哪一个军啊？忘记了。这个点怎么那么奇怪啊？你会叫我走回去啊？到底是在搞我？呀，别打！哦，就一定要从那个门过来吗？不会触发是不是？没事哎、可以去下一个地方哦。早知道我直接搭电梯哦，这样我不知道那个任务能不能继续下去。哦，当应该有一批人要来了。这里好了。
All right, MSI.
又是谁啊
I'm？not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So
通通冲进来！
there and fight.
说好用嘴巴取胜的，结果队友一直来乱。
This is nice. Calm before the storm, and
到
I'll
底被关在哪里啊？
Hope you're right about this, Captain.
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for
是不是我动手，
complicating
都是
my
意外。
life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was
被
prepared.
被发现
I
了。
lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain.
什么？
You have a gift for manipulation.
没事，
But I
我
warn
说服超高。
I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. Our partnership is behind us. You had your chance to work with me, but you elected to, as the common worker might say, throw in with that demented old test tube jockey. Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and then get on with the bloody business of saving this colony.
先不急，不急，不急。
Fair enough.
嗯，
I'm giving
居
you
然
exactly one chance to parlay with me.
什么要100？我应该有100啊，三小。等 等一下，舞曲怎么可能？我应该有100啊，是吗？加成后100，看一下。啊，97，靠！为什么只有97啊？呀，我的帽子呢？说服加7。
Kept you.
有了有了。
I'm afraid I. To your. Oh. Fair.
有了，给你一个机会。
Interesting that you think I'm going to die here. I believe I'm more than capable of taking you on. Fair point. I don't know how you've managed to defy the odds. By every reasonable estimate, you should be dead. Yet here you stand. I've devoted my entire life to protecting Halcyon. I'm not afraid to die in the line of duty.
你只会妄想这个变态。
There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you. You've thrown this system into disarray. Cleaning up your mess will be the work of a lifetime. You were always an unknown variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
电，哇，还好100。说服90，科学90。电。
Rockwell said that. Chairman Rockwell? That's absurd. You're lying. This is another one of your
提
tricks.
醒，哼，
I've been the chairman's most
只剩下一个
reliable
人哦。
associate. That's ridiculous. Halcyon is
对，就是
collapsing. The
你。
labyrinth is rioting.
别
You're
怀疑。
running wild through the colony. And I let the situation get out of hand? I have given the chairman nothing less than a lifetime of loyal, honorable service. And this is how he repays me. By leaving me twisting in the wind. I deserve my share of the blame. You may have thrown Halcyon into chaos, but I was the one who hired you.
对，都是你的错。
I haven't given up on the program yet. You've caused some complications, but I can improvise. I can fix this. I haven't lost control of the labyrinth yet. Our security system is still
怎么？
operational. I can still put a
讲不
stop
听
to
呢
you.，
要打一顿哦。这个90，我怎么没有90啊？可能。
This prison.
太奇怪了吧？骇客90呢？靠，85，怎样？干，脱衣服了啦，受不了，只穿一个帽子。哦，受不了哎、怎么都是衣服的问题啊？再来一次。
Cap. I'm afraid
什么都点的刚刚好啊！
all that's left.
哎，靠！等一下，先换好衣服再说。帽子，下来。我加什么？哦，加对话、欸。加别的、啊？加什么特别的？不然这个，存档。
You. Are. Oh. Interesting. Fair point. I've devoted.
你只有妄想症的病，他要选这个好。
I won't be judged by you. You were always. Rockwell said that. You're lying. That's ridiculous. I have given. Enough. I haven't given up on. I.
提醒，说啥
What? You can't be serious.
没在跟你开玩笑的哦。第二个，然后第三个，哎，这个还不错哎。
And you're about to use that copy to turn my own auto mechanicals against me.
聪明，
That's actually rather
还用你
clever.
说？
Congratulations, Captain. You've outplayed me. I accept your terms and will return Dr. Wells to your care.
假惺惺装什么棋逢对手将遇良才，快滚了！
The fate of the colony is in your hands now. I bid you farewell.
讲这么多屁话。 终于啊，衣服穿上去哦，被吊打怎么办啊？穿别的啊，也今天穿哪一件啊？这个应该没东西了啦。面子什么？ 那这边怎么也有这个休眠舱、啊？蛮多的、欸。啊对对，嗯。
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You must have said something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
笑话，董事会在我面前不值得一提。
Ah, all in a day's work for you, huh?
全部都是菜。
You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
戏也太多哦。
Theatrics, merciful law, I wish I were exaggerating. Earth has gone dark.
真的失联了。
Received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
靠自己啊！
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can. I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
不是说隔壁还有殖民地吗？
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. they were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them. I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours. I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself, but I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
应该没事了吧？
Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
傀儡。
The chairman? I don't know why you let that heartless creature live, but I'll have to trust your judgment. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation.
居然是不是关错地方的店啊？多半饿死了。
Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another 3 years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was indeed. Your influence further cemented Ellie's perspective. She understood she could never truly rely on others, so she set about making sure she wouldn't have to. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She enjoyed a long and infamous career running missions across the system. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with 2 hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. Chairman Rockwell served as the public face for the changes in Halcyon to come. Whenever you needed strings pulled or a voice to sell a policy change, Rockwell was only too happy to oblige. As for Dr. Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Today, Halcyon has stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus and made Chairman Rockwell your own puppet, a role he was all too eager to play. The colony never realized you were the true power behind the new administration. By acting vicariously through agents and third parties, you controlled Halcyon from the shadows. As a result, Halcyon survived the turbulent years that were to follow. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
因为第5版就很小啊，很短好像也不是很意外。原本这场里面漏将了，对吼，糟了，那个在玩的时候好像都不是报本名，那个名字流那个名字传错了。九安继续会到哪里啊？那就只能当外送仔哦。地在这里哦。啊，就可以收啦。自己当也太嚣张。这样出事的话，不就找到自己了吗？那这里结束了哦，拜。 看一下还有什么可以玩哦。哦，还有一款哎，那款应该很助眠，先关一下。